How's it going, everybody? Just wanted to do an update on my SCCY DVG 1. Uh, I've actually got it back about a week or so ago. I just haven't been around to make a video and an update. Actually, I haven't even been able to shoot it yet and test fire it. But if you watched my previous video, you knew that after almost 200 rounds or so, the trigger was completely dead. I could not even disassemble it to see what was even broke or what was going on with it, because you have to dry fire it to disassemble it. I can get the pin out, but you can't, again, pull the trigger to let it, the slide go forward. So it was pretty much dead in the water. Very disappointed because it did not ever jam on me, didn't give me any like major issues. Just the one time was just, or that one session, first session was just ammo had a hard primer. So but anyway, so I finally got a hold of them, sent it in, and I got it back about a week or so ago, like I said. And then when I received it, I did not send out the original box because I just figured maybe it might not come back. So then it came in another box, and it came with the magazines that I sent them because I marked them. So I know I got the magazines back. But then I started looking at it, and one of the things I realized was the serial number was different. So this is the original. Of course, the markings are covering some of it up, but DO30, and the one that they sent me back, DO33, and then of course the rest of it. And so this serial number that the gun came in matched this one, of course. So right then and there, I was like, well, wait a minute, this ain't the same gun. So they did send me another gun. But they gave me the mags that I had sent them. So like I said, I marked them. So I was like, well, that was weird. And again, they didn't send me any information on what they did or what was wrong with the other one or anything like that. They just sent it back. Here you go. And so one of the things I did notice is, did have nick right there. And also the barrel hood was very kind of scored up looking, and also above the barrel, the normal wear. So it almost seemed like they shot a lot of rounds to it or something, which is kind of odd in my opinion. The other thing with this one is the rear sight is way to the right. I mean, you can see how far over it is. So I am gonna put that back to normal in the middle, and then go from there and see how it shoots after that. If it seems to be really shooting off, then I know that they probably moved it this way because something's obviously not right. So it should not, in my opinion, have to be drifted that far over. So that's something I did contact them, and she said, yeah, it's definitely not how it's supposed to be. So then, of course, again, I asked, well, why did I get another gun? And of course, I didn't do any paperwork. So apparently, they just leave it up to our discretion if our state requires a registration, which we don't here. And so she finally got a hold of one of the technicians, since even though I sent them a paper, and asked, like, let me know, what was wrong with my firearm, and how many rounds you shot through or whatever. And again, they didn't send in any information. I guess she told me they don't really do that. So if you're wanting to know what is wrong with your firearm, they will not basically tell you. So since I did call, she got a hold of them, and I guess apparently this firearm, the frame was cracked. So I don't know if it was the actual housing, the plastic, which I don't think so, because I didn't notice anything. And also, this is not a serialized part, so they could have just put a new frame on it. So apparently it must be the actual chassis of the firearm was apparently cracked. That's the only thing I can think of. So I do have a new firearm as far as I know. I don't know if this was just one that's kind of used and they just gave it to me, which would not be right in my opinion. But they did send me a whole new box with all the paperwork and everything. Again, just no magazines. They gave me the ones I sent them back. So that's the update. It was unfortunate because that gun was shooting actually really good and reliable, which I was really happy with. And it's just unfortunate that the frame cracked on it. So yeah, I mean, their customer service is top notch. It's just, as far as if as far as telling people what's wrong with their gun, I just wish they would do that, in my opinion. So I don't know, am I gonna end up keeping this or not? I don't know. I'm gonna have to restart this whole break-in period again and see if it's reliable again, since, you know, I put all those rounds through the other one and then, you know, it breaks, and then now I got to start all over again. So I mean, if it could stay reliable and not break and everything, I mean, yeah, I probably will. But in my opinion, it's unfortunate. I got 2 SCCYs and had issues with. Of course, I knew getting into them that they're either hit or miss, I guess, and not the greatest. Again, I just got them because they were cheap, so why not, you know? Wasn't something I was planning on relying on. But yeah, so that's it. So this is a new firearm, new serial number. The other one is no longer, so I may keep this box just in case if I have to send some firearm in. At least I'll just send it in this, because the gun is no longer, so it doesn't matter if something happens to this box, since I don't have the gun no more. So I did have the printout, so if something did happen, it shows from SCCY that saying that this firearm was replaced with this firearm and the serial number. So that's the update. Hopefully I'll take it out tomorrow and see how it functions. Maybe just put 100 rounds or so, just to start off with. But again, I gotta get this sight put back to dead center. So see what happens there. Hopefully it stays fairly true. If not, then I know something's, again, like I said earlier, is wrong, and I'll definitely have to get a hold of them and say, yeah, there's definitely something wrong with this one too. But hopefully not. But anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and thanks for watching.